Hello and welcome to this series of Unlearning the Falsehoods, wherein we bust some myths related to our country and our civilization that has been taught to us. We have been made to believe into certain things that were not really indeed true. Alright, so far in this series, we have managed to establish that the colonizer, with its Christian moorings, had some reformation within the Christianity in their countries, then came over here, tried to apply all those sets of principles and all those criterias to the indigenous population of Bharat. And this has been a similar experience for all the countries that have suffered at the hands of the colonizer. Majority of them have been in the Asian subcontinent, such as Indonesia, Thailand. All these countries were known as the Indo-French colonies. So all these countries, be it Germany, even Dutch, Portuguese, Spanish, French, English, all these national identities that have come out of the Protestant Reformation within the broad umbrella of Christianity, all these things gave rise to this national consciousness that the French version of Christianity is better than the German version of Christianity. So this gave rise to their national consciousness to spread the word further, of the word of Christ. They came to new lands. They wanted more and more subscribers to their own denominations of Christianity, and hence they were trying to convert more and more people. But the focus of this particular video is about the idea of nation statehood. All right. The principle of monotheistic religions such as Christianity and Islam is homogeneous nature of the society. And when I say homogeneous nature of the society, I mean that each and every person of that society has to abide by single principles or same set of rules for each and every individual in the society. So by homogenizing the entire nature of society, you transform a country into a nation state. But keep in mind, this was the understanding of the European. All these understandings, all these revelations have come out from their age of enlightenment. All right. So with such understanding of the nation statehood, the colonizer comes to the land of Bharat. Here when he arrives, he was bedazzled by the diversity that we have. All right. Just to give you a small example, usually it is said that the priests are not allowed to consume meat. But if you go down south, you'll see in Kerala and in certain parts of Tamil Nadu as well, there are priests who will eat beef. All right. So homogenizing the entire society of Bharat was a practically impossible task. But they had to accomplish this. Why? Because they had to rule over us. So what they did was, I've also mentioned this in one of my previous videos about how they fragmented the society. So when the colonizer came over here with the idea of nation statehood, that means homogenizing the entire society, they came over here and they realized that there is too much diversity over here. All right. Remember, I would like to draw your attention towards how there were some English thinkers. After the transfer of power in 1947, they made their predictions that Bharat would collapse as a democracy. Bharat does not have that inherent capability of surviving and existing as a democracy. But so far we have managed to prove all of them wrong. But that is not the point of this video. So they came over here with the idea of homogenizing the society, meaning that everyone should follow the same rules. Now keep in mind, homogenizing the society means it essentially is based on the theory of Christianizing the whole society, meaning everyone should follow the same rule. Hence the genesis of the idea of constitution. All right. To the Western mind, everything has to be written down in a book, and that book has to be, considered as the word of God. And hence you see this constitutional patriotism in our country as well. All right. So the entire idea of having a constitution in itself has an underpinning of Christian morality. Now, let's keep that besides the point. All right. I want to talk more about how constitution as a document has been deified, meaning it has been considered as a word of God. Okay, there is also this thing about constitutional patriotism. Now, I am all game for having a document where all laws are codified, and there is a civil code to which each and every national of a country has to adhere to. I am all for it. But here is my fundamental and profound disagreement when it comes to constitutionalizing our civilization. Number one is, who exactly framed this constitution? All right, the answer would be members of the Constituent Assembly, correct? How were these members of the Constitutional Assembly elected? Were they elected by a direct election? Some of you might say yes, there were provincial legislature elections, but the members of the Constituent Assembly, they were nominated by those elected members of the provincial assemblies. There were other members who were indirectly nominated by princely states. There were other members who were nominated by the British people as well. All right. So that particular set of people, there were somewhere close to 389 people in the Constituent Assembly. All right, let's make it to 400. So a bunch of 400 people cannot claim to speak on behalf of the mass of the country. All right. Now we have bought into this idea of writing down the law, having a written constitution. And up to a certain degree, I would also agree that yes, that is the way forward. There has to be some written down guidelines, some written down lines where those lines which are not supposed to cross. Okay. But at least who is framing those lines has to have the consent of the people. And that is where my profound disagreement. The entire idea or the entire premise of having a written constitution reeks of Christianity.